Buckle up, sports fanatics. This is the Sports Chasers Podcast, your HQ for in-depth sports talk. Join host Kevin L. Warren and crew as they dissect the hottest stories, ignite debates, and bring you closer to the action. From locker room whispers to expert takes, we cover it all. It's game time, so strap in and grab a drink. The Sports Chasers Podcast starts right now.
Hey, good evening, everybody. What's happening, everybody? It's another edition of the Sports Chasers Podcast coming to you live and direct, man. It's Thursday night, June 12th, man, 2025, man. We're about to get it in. When it comes to the world of sports, before we do that, make sure you like, click, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit all the buttons for all the notifications. And the people that's listening to us on the podcast side, the audio side, man, give us that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star review, 5-star review. Shout out to all those that's on listening to on Facebook, YouTube, of course. Don't think we have Twitch up or Instagram. I think we are on X. And shout out to all my new people on TikTok. Yes, we're live on TikTok. Thank you for joining us tonight. We got a good show for you tonight. Let's meet the crew. We got one crew member and another crew member should be joining us shortly. DA, what's up with you, sir? How are you tonight?
We good, man. It's the 12th. You know, we're going to try to make this work, man. You know, it's the 12th. Let's do it. It's Thursday. Let's get it in.
Thursday, the flagship show, man. Shout out to all the guys. Like I said, it'll be only me, myself, DA, and Ryan should be joining us shortly. So we'll get it in and talk about some hockey, some baseball. Got some golf tonight. Well, not tonight, but they just stopped playing, and we'll talk about that, some other things. So, speaking of golf, let me just go to golf. Let me just open up real quick about golf. I should have had the story ready. 1, 2. Oh, yes, I got it right. No, do I got it right there? Oh, no, I got it right here. So, golf. You got the and this is from CBS Sports, of course. You got at Oakmont. You got the U.S. Open here, the 125 U.S. Open at Oakmont. It's a par 70 course. 7,349-yard beast began Thursday with brutal conditions that humbled even the elitist of players, such as J.J. Spaun stood out, cutting a bogey-free 66 to seize the early clubhouse lead, thanks largely to stellar putting and calm under pressure. He was. Meanwhile, big names like Scheffler and McIlroy and DeChambeau stumbled, mirroring Oakmont's relentless challenge. So this is for those that don't know in golf, like this course is like really, really a beast. And I just read out to you some of the things. Let me read some of the highlights. John Ram emerges as the new betting favorite following a minus 69. Patrick Reed sinks an Albatross on the par 5 fourth, only the fourth in U.S. Open history. So, wow. Yeah, that's pretty big. Oakmont reminds why it's one of the toughest courses. Only a handful broke par on day one. So I was watching, Sports Center and some of the other sports shows this week, going up to it, and they literally had groundskeepers, like, 5x5 and mowing the lawn, because this thing is like almost playing on concrete from what they're saying, and it's pretty challenging. A lot of roll, and so this is gonna be something throughout the weekend and from players when they make the cut. So we'll keep an eye. Go ahead, DA.
And they talk like, this is just Bryson's tournament and everybody else is going to come in second, third, and fourth. But it does not seem as if Bryson is well, at least not on Thursday.
No.
It's going to take a little something else for him to get himself, Scotty Scheffler, Koepka, he finished strong, but everybody's looking bad at this point in time, the big name. So JJ hit strong. He didn't overshoot any. I don't think he overshot anything. So that makes it a little easier when you're in front of the cup or, for 2-putt or something like that. So, hey, you got Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So
Yeah, let's see if these cats can make the cut on tomorrow too. So we'll monitor that. Shout out to all those that's in the chat. Who would I got here? We got Debbie. Thank you for coming chatting with us. We got D Dubs. D Dubs is pulling some duties. He can't be with us tonight, but he's in the comments. Shout out to him. Shout out to Moms. Moms is always there. Good evening, my favorite sports podcast. That's right, Moms. Say what's up.
Indeed.
You know, and whoever's spamming us, you know we must be good when cats are spamming the chat. So, so I guess let me go on to hockey. Go ahead. You was gonna say something?
I said it's coming.
Oh yeah, it's coming. It's here. You know, once you get a reckoning, you know, people, you know, they want to spam the chat, man, and say, hey, join this, do this, get your roof fixed.
Yeah, come on with it. Come on with it.
We with it, man.
Now. Yeah, here you go.
We with it, man. Let me go to hockey, man. But this is kind of off the field, off the ice, so to speak, and going to be on the ice. And this is from Front Office Sports, and this is from Eric Fisher. He wrote on yesterday the Atlanta looks like they're really, really going in and trying to get a hockey franchise for the third time around. Some of the things, they got a big win for Atlanta sports infrastructure. The $3 billion Metro Atlanta NHL Arena and Entertainment District project in Forsyth County in Georgia has received final approval. This marks the largest public-private partnership in Georgia history. And some of the project details: a $800 million arena, NHL ready, hotels, retails, residential, office, and green space, a 100-acre master plan district. The total project is going to cost about $3 billion. NHL in Atlanta again. I just said it before. Hey, Atlanta has twice lost NHL franchises. The Flames moved to Calgary in 1980, and just recently, and back in 2011, the Thrashers relocated to Winnipeg in the second reincarnation of the Winnipeg Jets. While no formal NHL expansion bid has been made yet, the arena design and amenities are being tailored to meet NHL standards. This group is led by Vince De Silva and Randy Boyd, co-founder of the development firm The Gathering at South Forsyth, not officially linked with the NHL, but heavily courting league attention with the project. From the commissioner's office, Gary Bettman and Deputy Commissioner Bill Daly have acknowledged interest in new markets like Atlanta, Houston, and Salt Lake City. Well, they got a thing in Salt Lake City. NHL's potential expansion fee could be, get this, a whopping $1.5 billion, making it a serious financial opportunity. Atlanta's top 10 media markets and continues to grow, particularly in North Georgia suburbs. There's a real appetite to bring pro hockey back to Atlanta, especially with the success of the Atlanta Braves and the Falcons' investments in sports real estate. DA, we like to talk about the business of sports. What's on the reincarnation of Atlanta trying to get another team?
I believe they're doing this thinking that the folks in Atlanta, for lack of a different term, have changed. The demographics have changed in the north suburbs of Atlanta, and I think that it can support a hockey team. Whereas before, I don't think they had, especially the last time around, 2010, 11, whenever it was, that they just didn't have people that wanted to see hockey or were really interested in anything other than the hockey jersey. So I think this time they may really find some people that dig hockey, like hockey, and are courting some folks in that area out north of Atlanta proper, where they can, pack out 40, well, probably it's only be, how many thousand, 20,000?
Usually some of these NHL, NBA arenas, the biggest arena is the one in Chicago, where the United Center, where the Bulls and the Blackhawks play at. Usually 20,000, 19. I think Madison Square Garden seats 19,700.
I think they'll be able to pack that out there and make their money back, So it's just, again, it's a big deal for the state, because the state is, quite honestly, I think they're having some financial challenges with the rest of the real estate market there. So I believe that this will probably be good. You'll be bringing in maybe some folks that can pay for those big mansions that are empty out there. So,
Yeah.
that's the way I see it. So I think it'll be just fine.
What do you think about the looks like the quasi deal of looks like a half and half deal of them paying the money
And
and
the fans and the city.
and the public funds? What do you think about that? Oh, I know
Well, I always like just for the owners to pay for their own stuff, right? So you're not commingling funds and how much do you owe the city, and not just like when these things happen when you have a thing where the city and a private equity or private partnership. There's always a thing where people are saying that you owe us something, right? Because the city tax money, whatever, you owe us something, and that's a hard place to be in as a team, man. Because as a team, you don't want to be beholden to anyone. You want to be okay. Well, if it's not working out here, people like our team after 10 years, we can bounce to somewhere where they like hockey, But if it's the people in Atlanta giving up tax money to do this, then it becomes a little bit commingled. I never like it when that happens. I think if a billionaire's a billionaire, he pays for what he gets.
right.
I'm not sure, what exactly you're giving back. Atlanta, it's probably state funding, I guess they're getting it from, and the bombs will just be out there and they'll start construction. So that's kind of what they're going to do, regardless of what I think of it. But Kev, you know how it is, man. I would rather get the owners to pay for it, and it's your place. You can do what you want to do, right? Rather than having all these arbitrary rules because Atlanta put up half of the money. And golly gee, if Atlanta economy goes down, then they don't build this stadium. Like you don't want, either way, you don't want that as an owner to either hinder you or help you. Say, listen, we just rather do it on our own way. At least me, if I was a billionaire, and I'm not, I would, without doubt, buy my own stadium, put my team in my stadium. So, but we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, because if you do that, right, you control everything, right? You control the gate, you control the parking, the concessions, all that stuff.
The way it's built, everything.
And you don't have to be like dealing or nickel and diming with the municipality of what we're supposed to get.
Right. And then you're dealing with municipal construction. Well, this part of it, we're going to have our crews do it. Oh God, we got the Van Wyck now. It's just the same hole in the Van Wyck for the last 35 years, right? You just don't want that.
Yeah, it's funny you said that, and I don't know if you read my mind, dog, because when I was up there this past weekend, man, I was on the Van Wyck, and I was like, dang, y'all still doing this Van Wyck, dog?
Same hole. Yeah, they still got construction.
I was like, they got the air tread up there, they got that running, man. But I was like, dad, this Van Wyck, man. I was like, man, they've been doing this since I've been gone.
Well, they got cones out there older than my kids, so yeah, it's it's a joke.
Shout out to the Van Wyck Expressway.
Yeah, no doubt. But what I'm saying is, you don't want to have that happen,
right?
Where you're holding up the rest of the stadium because it's something built. Even the quality of building, all that is gets different, man. Because if I'm paying for it, I'm getting these guys that have been doing this in these stadiums. This is the quality of the work, right? And then we're gonna take over this part, and it's like, ooh, I like that. That's like we're back in New York. Remember before they had the installation of all of the new trains? I think the IND had the new trains first, and the IRT did. It was like, come on, man. You get on the D train, so wow, okay, yeah. You get on that 4 train, you back on Beach Street. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just a weird situation. It's not, Ramon. So yeah, it was. It was just different, man. So but I wish them luck, man. I'll drive down there to see them. So whenever well, do they have a date? And there as to when they think they'll be open? They haven't had the groundbreaking yet.
No, they don't, and I don't know if they're waiting for the NHL to like, yo, hey, look at us over here. Hey, man, we're about to build this thing. So I don't know if they're waiting on the NHL for this.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Because you know what? The wild thing is, right? So Phoenix, where are they playing at now? They went to Utah, right? The team that was in Phoenix last year. So
right.
they'll have another team to kind of jump their spot. So good stuff. I wish you all the best.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wish them all the best. You're absolutely right. Oh, I'm sorry. That was my internet acting crazy. I guess everybody's internet is just acting wacky here. Let me go to Major League Baseball here. I know, right? Some of the power rankings and just over the three, and this is from ESPN. They were saying how just gave you the top three overall. The Detroit Tigers, man, they are on a roll. The Tigers beat they had a very important series against the Cubs. The Cubs are very good too this year, and they won that series two games in one. That was a pretty good series. And shout out to the Tigers, man. They've been selling out. Also, the Comerica Park, man, it was getting like 39 and 40K in the stadium over this series, man. So shout out to the Tigers, man. They're 44 and 25 as of today. The Mets, they got the best ERA. They're 44 and 24 in the majors. They have only twice. Check this out, DA. Their starters have only twice given up 4+ runs all season.
Isn't that what you pay for, right? When you have that, I'm not bad. I'm not mad at it because that's what we do. But I say that's what you're supposed to. That's what you're paying for, and then at the end run, you would think to yourselves that hey, the hope is by August they got some young guys in their farm system that they can bring up to kind of give those guys a few weeks, in the middle of the season, a few starts here and there, and at the same time maybe get some bats, left-handed bats, most likely for the playoffs. So we'll see what happens. I wish them luck though. Got no real problem with them at all. I dig it. I really do. So.
Do you? Let me ask you this. Since we're on baseball, real quick, do you got? Because I hear a lot of Yankee fans with this, and I don't care. Do you? Are you like the Biggie saw praying for Soto's downfall?
No. I want the little brother to do whatever he can do, man. Listen, he did what he's supposed to do. Listen.
Right.
Yeah, listen. Hey, they offered me $5 more than you. I'm going over here. I don't even have to move out of my apartment. I'm in the same place in New Jersey, so it kind of doesn't matter to him.
I'm in the same place in New Jersey.
I'm not even changing. I'm not changing anything. So, but the wild part is I do believe that he'll be. The dimensions of the park are a little bit better for him. This will be since getting out of the National League, going to the American League and back. He may have a little bit of pop on some pitchers the first shot around. So yeah, I don't see. He's going to give you what he got, and that's not going to be fielding, and it may not always be running out bases, but he will be there to hit, and that's exactly what you're paying him for. I got no problem. I never hate on him.
Yeah, he's currently batting .253, 13 home runs, 35 RBIs. He got 62 hits, man. So shout out to Juan Soto. And I want the brother to do good, man. I want him to do well, and who never knows? We might have another reincarnation of the Subway Series, man. The 2025 circuit, almost 25 years from when was the 2000 2000 was the Subway Series.
Yeah.
So. Oh, shout out to D-Dubs. D-Dubs said he's blocking Stanley Cup.
Oh, okay. Who is that?
I don't know. Somebody. I said we made it when we got spammers in the chat.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, it's kind of tough finals, baby.
Hey, man, stop taking.
They stopped Say his name for me, Kevin.
Dry Saddle. Yeah.
last game. They covered up McDavid. They jumped up on him. Goal after goal after goal. It got away from Edmonton real quick, and Edmonton right now has to figure out how to score goals against this team because they really were locked up most of the game, and that's every line. So, we'll see what they have in the chamber, I guess.
Let me just recap from, like you said, as we go into hockey here. The Panthers won the last game here on Monday. They won a game 6-1. They take a 2-1 lead in the Stanley Cup Finals. The Panthers exploited mistakes from Edmonton, delivering their most lopsided win in weeks. Brad Marchand became the oldest player to register a goal in each of his first 3 Stanley Cup Final games. Sam Bennett notched playoff leading his 14th playoff goal, sparked by a big hit and resulting turnover. Part of the duels combining for 8 total goals. First goal in the series, which comes from Carter Regehu and Sam Reinhart, and Aaron Ekblad, which he had a power play strike by Aaron Ekblad, which led to the pulling of Oilers goalie Stuart Skinner. I'll say this about this game. The Oilers, and shout out to Dan, he's not on tonight. I would say the Oilers played right into the Panthers' hands. See, the Panthers are a very physical team. They finish every check, and they kind of get under your skin. And this is what they did, and I don't think the Oilers can hang with them like that. They need to. I don't know if they can finesse them, but they're going to have to not be stupid and take dumb penalties. And I'll get to the penalties here in a second. Edmonton racked up an astonishing 85 penalty minutes, the most ever by one team in a Stanley Cup final game. Special teams, Florida struck on multiple power plays, including goals by Verhage, Eklund, and Rodriguez, all with the advantages. Florida's depth revealed spread of offensive contributions from forwards through defense and consistent goaltender. As Bob is on his game. Sergei Bobrovsky, he's definitely on his game again, and that's how they won last year. Goaltending, defense, they finish their checks and they do what they have to do, man. So shout out to the Florida Panthers as they are up 2-1. They win this game tonight, man. I think it's over. But we said that last year when it was they was up 3-0 and they couldn't finish it. It took them 7 games to finish them. So we'll see. We'll definitely see, man. As the game starts, the game's about to start here in a little bit, and that's all I got for that. And as we waiting on Ryan to come through, I got a very interesting article, and I got a very good take on this one too. And here, this is where it's at. The NBA, and Ryan should be getting on in real second, and I'm going to have a very different take than what I've had. And this is from Vanessa Richardson. She's filling in for Jorge Sedano for Yahoo Sports, and she wrote this today. There you go. Yeah, I was waiting for him to come through. Where is he at here? Brother D'Souza, how you doing today, sir?
What's good, fellas? What's good?
I'm good, man. We right on time. I'm writing the basketball segment. I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this article, and I'm going to have a very, very different take than what I've had. So I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna go first, and I'm gonna give it to y'all. So this is, and it absolutely annoyed me today. So it says here from Yahoo Sports, what happened? Context and why it matters. What happened? NBA Commissioner Adam Silver publicly addressed fan backlash to the presentation during the first 2 games of the 2025 NBA Finals, specifically the absence of the traditional Finals court logo. Starting with Game 1, the Larry O'Brien Trophy and Finals branding were missing. Fans were vocal about missing visual cues that reinforce the gravity and significance of the Finals. And this is what Silver said. He said, I hadn't thought about it much until I saw it on social media. I'm nostalgic as well as for certain things. Silver confirmed paint was removed over a decade ago due to player safety concerns. I didn't even know that. That's really good to know. he also said whether if people watching live or seeing these images on social media, it's nice when you looking back on highlights and they stand out because you see that trophy, that trophy logo or some other indication that it's a special event. I got you, right? So the league, they responded. So game 2, they introduced the CGI overlay. I saw that and I was wondering about that, and they had it on there. So the fan feedback, the loud social media complaints post game 1 about missing on-court finals branding. They talked about the safety. And they also talked about I don't have it right here, but I'll pick it up, but I'll say this about this, and I'll get to some of the ratings. When I saw this, I said, man, y'all are outraged about that. I said, okay, I don't know why, but I mean, I get it, and I don't get it, and it's been missing for 10 years. And like I said, I think a lot of people about this series, they can poke holes and point fingers on why this is that and why the ratings is that. If you love basketball, and I said this before the start of this series, you will watch this series. I will be on record as saying I think this has been a very good NBA playoffs, and the finals is good as too. You know, if it's your teams are not in it, you don't want to watch it, don't watch. That's fine. But I think the play has been good. I think the playoffs has been well. If we're crying about this NBA trophy missing on the trophy and it hasn't been there in 10 years, I haven't noticed it. I just know when it's time for the finals, man. But I don't know, man. I just think people sometimes just complain a little bit about everything, and it has nothing to do with nothing. And again, you want to talk about small market teams or whatever. If you love basketball, you will watch.
Yeah.
And I'll be tuning in. Go ahead, D. You was gonna say something? Go ahead.
I was just saying, indeed, if you like it, it's like this is a battle of casual fans against fans.
That's exactly what it is, and it's so annoying sometimes. And I just think, you're not gonna get your star city, New York, LA, Chicago, or whatever, in there all the time. It just doesn't work that way. And again, if you love basketball, you love well played basketball, you'll tune in, and so be it. So be it. Go ahead, Ryan.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Is Ryan there?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. You good?
Yeah, I understand what they're saying because it's a cool visual, and it's all good, right? But I understand where they're coming from, but it's a little bit to do about nothing, to be honest with you. I mean, you can put the CGI there and make it look like it's like they did, like it's on there, and and then they're beefing too because they're saying, well, with the in tournament games, the in season tournament, all the courts are like got all this, the glamour stuff on it, and all the the hoopla and the trophy and the courts look, looks crazy and stuff like that. So they're saying, well, what about the injury aspect of that? So I get it, but listen, this is what people always complain about, right? We've heard other people say this. Well, the bad thing about basketball was we always knew who was going to be in the finals. We always knew who the super teams were. We always knew who was going to win. Who was only like 3 or 4 teams we know that was going to be in the championship or have a chance to win it. So now that you have the quote unquote smaller market teams who probably have, I mean, the MVPs in the finals. So whether you think SGA is a superstar or not, he's the MVP of the league. And it's just a situation where people are just gonna find things to complain about. You know what I'm saying? That's just the world we live in, man. We need the negative buildup to push narratives, and that's just what it is. The whole playoffs has been good.
That's you heard
everything has been, yeah,
very good. Yes,
yeah, like Yeah, the playoffs have been fantastic. The ratings were up. It was the best ratings for the first round because you had your LeBrons and you had your Steph Currys, so they drive ratings because they're all time greats. And I get it.
Mm-hmm.
We had a Luka trade right at the trade deadline that brought more eyes to the game. Whether cause you just wanted to see the drama, and sports is about drama. So I get it. There's not that much drama, with the names and with the small markets. But it's been great basketball, man. It's been great basketball. We had a team come back and with Indiana and Halliburton with his ridiculous clutch stats in the
Right.
clutch hits a shot, basically at the buzzer. So I don't know how you cannot like that. And then you had OKC coming back, and winning convincingly. And then you had last night where Indiana was going home after tying the series, and they were underdogs. They were a plus
Yep.
5. They were a betting underdog. So not for nothing. OKC was up going into the fourth quarter, going up by 5 points, and you saw two teams go at it, and it's ebbs and flows, man. You're gonna have teams who are gonna perform one game, and then a team makes an adjustment, and then you're gonna see ebbs and flows in basketball. It's the whole saying, basketball is a game of runs, and it really is. You can't sometimes. Each game has its own momentum, its own phase. Just because you win one game, don't mean you're gonna win the next one. So it wouldn't be I wouldn't be shocked if OKC went and handled business and tied
Yeah,
it up.
that's what I think.
Um, so and I told y'all before the series started, there's just something about this Indiana team.
Well,
Just something about
I,
them.
I
Yeah.
think both
So
teams are very equally balanced, except that Indiana maybe has three more quality players on their bench than OKC has. When I say quality players, like little point guard from Notre Dame, he can play, and I think he gave him like 20 last night. So plays defense, scrappy kid. Pascal is still doing his thing. Of course, Halliburton's playing well. Naismith is playing well. So they have a really, 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 really good team. And just to harp on something that I don't know who Ty Hodges is, but thank you, sir. I think, and I'm going to tie this into something that you guys may not even think about, but that may be the reason why the Knicks got rid of Tips. Because they see that's the way the league is going. The league is going to who can have the most players, the deepest bench, essentially, with kids that can play. Right? For you to do that, what do you have to do? Coach those kids up and get them to play. And Tibbs has never done that. So with that being said, he may be wasting players. But let's get back to the present, the here and now. Because
Yeah,
now,
we'll get to Tibbs in
now
a
it's
second. I was just gonna
yeah.
let Ryan run through
But
not
I
run
think,
through run through on the
I think with
finals.
the finals, I think it's going to get tied up. I love it because SGA is not flopping around the court because he understands that he really has to go hard and play, has to make shots. O'Connell and Halliburton are putting pressure on them coming up the court, so their guards have to really be mindful of what they're doing because they're the ones that are giving push in the turnovers, especially on inbounds. So it's becoming real, not nip and tuck in a bad way, but you got to be on your P's and Q's and dot all your T's. Dot all your I's. There you go, and cross all your T's, man. Because even if you inbound the ball the wrong way, they'll get you. So, so that's the way I see it. I think it's going to be a great series, and I think it's good for the league. And in my opinion,
absolutely.
the casual fans have to be won over one by one. So you don't have to worry about the fact that it might be down this year, because that just might be culture shock because, not LeBron, not Steph, KD,
Steph.
these dudes is all going by first round. So with that being said, the reality is that the NBA fan has to get used to a new reality. And it's not like it hasn't happened before. I remember when Mike quit and it was the AI, Kobe, Shaq time, LeBron came in a little bit later, but Dwayne Wade was there, and so it happens. No one's gonna, you're not gonna turn into a pumpkin, folks. And that's, if you watch these kids, I believe that you appreciate them, whether they come from a small market or not. So I don't really think that's a great excuse for any of this. People not watching. They weren't going to watch anyway. They're casual fans, and I don't hate you for being a casual fan. So, you know what I mean? All right.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
So as far as the trades, I guess when we're talking about the coaching, it's weird because they, the Knicks, like everybody says that they struck out on all these coaches. I don't necessarily believe that because I don't think any of those coaches were going to take that job. And I understand what you say about money, Ryan. But again, the coaches would have to say to their ownership, "Hey, I want to talk to the Knicks about, jumping over there, doing something over there." And I think all of these coaches, Quinn Snyder, Ime, even his assistant, Jason Kidd. I think these guys are all comfortable where they're at, right? And I don't know. I was watching something. Someone didn't understand, and it was like, Dallas was in the championship a year ago. Like don't
Right, last year.
Don't think that First off, Kyrie's not a dunker. He doesn't use his Achilles to get up. And he doesn't have a quick first step. He just has handles, and he's really good fundamentally with his footwork. So that being said, he can get back quicker than folks think. They actually believe that Jason Tatum will be back by the middle of next year. But that's God willing, with no setbacks as far as his leg is concerned. But I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility, Ryan, that Dallas with a healthy AD, a healthy Cooper Flag, now AD may not like that because Flag is a 4 or a 3. He's not playing a 5, which means AD, you move to the 5.
Yeah, Flag is definitely a 3.
So if we got AD at the 4, then we got to find a quick, fast 5, right? Or you move Lively, or one of those guys.
Well, yeah, they got Lively and Gafford. That's one of the main reasons why AD wasn't opposed to the trade, because now he doesn't have to play center.
So, and you're all fast, you're quick. Lively and Gafford can both hit shots. AD can be a little bit further away from the rim, but when needed to, he can operate in the rim. I mean, closer to the rim. Cooper Flag, and like I said, I believe Kyrie will be back. He may be back before, not too far into the season starting. But with that being said, I don't think Jason Kidd moving was ever going to be a problem. I never, I don't know why Jason Kidd, because I don't think the Knicks are a better job. And I'm from New York, and I love my Knicks, but they're not a better job. For the simple fact that there's only 5 dudes there, they got no money and no trade picks. And if you give up, if you do get Jason Kidd, you got to give up 2 second rounders. So, at minimum. So, it's not really a good job,
But here,
I was just saying, it's not really a good job, right? So everybody talks about coming to the Knicks, as if the Knicks are, not one. They won series away, one game away. They actually were in the series. They were. They played really well. It's a good season, and I pray we have a good one next season as well. But I think of all the teams that got that close, the New York Knicks have the biggest hole. Right? Even if you kept Tibbs there, the biggest holes and the most problems in the way he coaches and how that roster was put together. At least based upon what we've seen from Tibbs. They have stars on that team. They got the French kid. They actually got 6-7 point guard on the team for France. But Tibbs not gonna play that kid. The kid they got last year in the draft is bad. He wasn't like a high school player. He was playing in the French League Pro. He's playing over there. Tibbs never played him. So we don't know what he could have did. How he could have helped. You don't think Rick Carlisle is saying, well, shoot, hey, man, brother, we playing you, so we gonna pay you. We paying you, so we playing you. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. When he was with the Knicks, how many 3-pointers did Obi Toppin shoot? 4 or 5? He's putting in 6 a game, dog. You know what that is? Confidence from the coach. Rick Carlisle's like, yo, go shoot that thing, dog. That's just like RJ up in Toronto. And shoot it, bro. Shoot it. Don't not shoot it. Go get it.
Yeah.
And Ty, they had one. RJ. So,
Shout out to Coach Ty.
You know what I mean? They had one. RJ. RJ was the shooter. And he was scared to shoot. But I see him shoot and look at Tibbs as soon as he shoot it, like he's going to get put in the corner. So, but even Quinn Snyder, and a few of the coaches that they had on their list, I'm forgetting the names. But those guys all have better jobs than the Knicks job.
Well,
I'll go ahead. Yeah, well, this is why I think the Knicks job is good, and especially for Jason Kidd, in relative to what he has now in Dallas. And all your points are correct. I'm not going to argue with you, DA. You make valid points with Dallas. You know what I'm saying? But Cooper Flagg's going to be coming in as a rookie, right? Remember, Cuban hired Jason Kidd. Cuban's gone.
Yeah, I understand. He is still part of the organization.
Right. No, okay. Right. So this is a new regime. It's said that Kidd wasn't happy the way he had to be the voice of, because he's the coach, he had to be the voice of reason for the Luka trade. Now he's the reason why I think it's good for I think the Knicks are good for Kidd and it's a good match is because one, he coached Brunson before in Dallas, so they have a relationship there. And I like I said, I think that's a big factor when you're not the coach that the new regime actually picked. You can't trust that, especially with Luka getting traded and how it went. There's got to be some trust issues there, right? And to me, Jason Kidd was already on the hot seat last year before they made the run to the finals. He was on the hot seat coming in. They were talking about moving him. So I believe the Knicks really want Jason Kidd. I think Jason Kidd is their first option. And whenever you're somebody's first option, and I think the Knicks is a good job, to be honest with you. I really think the Knicks are a good job. I think, they're top heavy as far as roster construction. I get it.
And they're physically slow. They're physically slow team. So
no, I get that, but they were still one of the best scoring offense in the league. The defense suffered. I get it, but to me, I think I think in the East, they're a top 2 team right now with the injuries. With question marks with Cleveland, they might lose Garland. Tatum being hurt. To me, if I'm looking at them, I mean, them and Indiana are probably coming into next season going to be the class of the East. Along with Cleveland still. I'm not going to take away what Cleveland did, but Boston's not going to be the same. And, I know we talked about it, DA. We have the up-and-coming Pistons, the up-and-coming Orlando Magic, but they're still relatively young. And
yeah, but
so,
they are on a yearly projection, and this is where I look at it, right? So I go 1, 2, 3 for OKC. Houston's on the 2 of 3 now, because next year is going to be an explosion in Houston, because that's 2 of this. That'll be the 3rd year this crew together, and Orlando was up and came back down, but their 3rd year will be next year. And they're going to blow because they're going to have everybody back and healthy, right? They got like 18 point guards on that team, right? So,
and
right?
the only reason why they struggle is because of the injuries. Yes, correct.
Yeah. So, right, and then you got Detroit, and we already saw that Cade Cunningham is telling the world, I am absolutely, positively not playing with you dudes. So Cade is there, right? So all they got to do is exactly keep their team where they're at. The problems the Knicks have is, one, we can't get a bench unless we already got a bench. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning to say, unless we already have the pieces there and Tibbs just didn't play them, which I think would be the first move of any coach that walks in there, is to see exactly what we have, right?
Because the bench played well. The bench played well in the play when they got minutes. They actually played well.
Yes, that is not my beef. My beef was that you never saw them because I knew they played well.
And that's probably why he got fired.
But that's why he should have got fired. I keep telling folks that Tibbs did not get fired for this year. He got fired for 10 years of doing the same thing. And dudes are like, yo, listen, man, we just can't keep telling this dude that, you got to play your players because it's going to hurt us in the end. And, people can get mad at Dolan all they want. But the reality is, if your staff is telling someone, hey, man, we need to do this over and over and over and over and over again, and they don't do it, that's insubordination. You got to let that cat go. Because he's not changing the way he does things. And if you're watching the league change all the way around you, and you're not moving as the league changes, then, man, you need to bounce. Or figure it out somewhere else. Go to the WNBA and get 5 girls, 5 ladies, and just let them play, and don't play your bench. It works because how's the season? 40-some games, right? It may work there.
Yeah.
So that's all. I know what the Knicks it would, and everybody talks about these teams on television. And Kev, I'm gonna let you get into it. I know you got a bunch to say, but everybody talks about these teams and where the Knicks are today without giving credit to the other teams that are in that division that were on the come up, and other movements and player movements. Like, my man from Atlanta probably won't be there. And he's one of the best players in the league. Had the best, assists, scoring. What's the point guard? Trey. Trey probably won't be there.
Trae Young.
Yeah, but he's going to be somewhere. You know what I'm saying? He probably won't be there, but he's going to be somewhere. So there's going to be a lot of teams that get better. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And you got Philly coming back, right? They had draft picks from this year that played well. That joke in the middle, I guess, will be back. But Tyrese Maxey is no doubt a star. The freshman they had from Duke that went there last year was killing them before he got hurt. So they got 2 pretty good players coming back as well. So, it's and I think they're gonna get like Ace Bailey or something. That's what Philly's gonna get. Like,
Probably, yeah.
Come on, dog. You seen Ace play?
Oh, I'm high on Ace. I'm super high on Ace. Or they might get the kid from Baylor.
Yeah, you know. Come on, man. They're gonna get a 3 alone.
Edgecombe.
Yes.
He's a stud too.
Like I said, you know, everybody else is getting better too, and the Knicks don't get no picks this year. So you know, we got to go with what we got or whatever money we willing to spend under the salary cap. So I said Lonzo Ball this year. D-Dub.
Did y'all?
I told him Lonzo Ball this year. No one listens to me. So he's a free agent. I think Chicago dropped it right. So. Yeah. All right. Well, yes, sir, Kevin.
I don't know if you guys can hear. I've been kind of have some intermittent internet stuff going on, man. But and I had to dip out for a second. The thing that really annoys me about the Knicks with this they got going on, it just looks like, yeah, they got rid of Tibbs, right? And we just gonna keep going to this team that's under contract. I mean, I know you got to kick the tires, man, but to be honest, Ryan said a couple weeks ago, about a week ago, him playing the bench in that, what was it, game 5? That's
game
what probably
3.
got him out of
game
there.
3.
They was like, oh,
when they were down 0-2, and then they can't. Then they blew Indiana out in Indiana in game 3 because the bench played well. You know, tough.
Yeah. So, wait a minute.
Yeah, we could.
Oh, you insubordinate. You still refuse to play. All right, man. We got to do something about this. And I understand from that point, but what's real frustrating as a fan, and I'm just talking as a fan, that, you know, all right, we go through these players and we're trying to talk to coaches who have, you know, they are tied to somebody or they're employed by somebody. And like I said, it's going to cost the Knicks something, like you said, some second rounders or whatever. When we ain't got draft picks as it is, I just want to know, all right, you on kid or whatever, what's next? Who are we going to get? All right, because we can't mess with the teams that have you know, coaches that are employed. So that's just the frustrating part. Like, okay, I thought y'all, you know, had.
I actually think you guys are still in play for Jason Kidd.
What?
Even though they deny, I think you guys are still in play for Jason Kidd.
Okay.
Because I think he wants to go there. I really do. I really believe that he wants to go there. He can't trust that front office now. He just can't. And he was already on the hot seat. But at least you go where you know you're wanted and you're gonna get at least a couple of years. Like if they get up to a bad start next year, Dallas, he might get canned during the season. Think about that.
Right. You're gonna bread to live with it. I'm just saying, you don't trust nobody in that business, at least from what I've seen.
Of course, true.
You know what I mean? Like if you in that game and you an NBA coach, it's like, yo, look,
right, exactly.
I'm getting this bread, honey. You know, keep the number to the 7 Santini brothers so they can move our stuff. You know, keep a number close. You know, and you save your dough. You know, but the reality is, man, that they don't. Yeah, like I said, the Knicks, I think for the kid, it's going to be 2 second rounders, and I don't think we have them. I think that's probably the price for them. But like I said, you could probably get Sam Cassell, who's probably coached more than Jason Kidd. It's just Jason Kidd got head coaching jobs, and Sam Cassell.
Yeah, Sam Cassell's been an assistant for 20 years, guys. 20.
Yeah.
I know. Where's he at now?
I think Washington.
No, he's in Milwaukee. I think he's with Doc. So.
Yeah. He's with Milwaukee. Yeah. All right, so you can do that. You know, Darvin Ham is out there, and who I thought did a good job. So sorry, LeBron. I thought dude did a good job, right? So I don't know what coach is out there, but I think it should be a young guy that can get to these guys mentally and get them to play hard on offense and run into a system, because they have to play into a system. Whether it's going to be a high-low pick situation, or they're going to, run a lot of pick and roll, or whatever they're going to do, but they have to have a system in which Brunson can dip out and get a short jumper, right? So one of the biggest things I learned in watching Carmelo Anthony was this, man. He said Michael Jordan told him about spots on the court. So if you can hit this many shots from these spots, you good. What Brunson has, but doesn't know he has, is a spot right inside the elbow. Really doesn't miss those. He just has to find a way so the Knicks can make sure he can always get that shot when he needs that shot. And his game will go, woo, you got to have your spots on the court, man. Period. So,
New Bridges?
Yeah, you can't play Bridges or Cat, man. New York is not going to go for that. So. New York's not going for that. And I don't think they necessarily play bad. I just think they weren't put in the right position, because the reality is there are times when Mitchell just should have played and Cat should never got back in the game. Because Mitchell's guarding 2 through 5, running around the court like he's smoking crack. Stark, raving mad. Whoever got there, he get them. Mitchell Robinson, if he was a free agent, made himself a lot of money this year. A lot of money if he was a free agent. Man. People came out of this series looking at Mitchell Robinson like, that dude is, yeah, he's okay on defense. He hustles for a 7-footer, and he is a 7-footer. So I like him. I think he'll stay if they're smart. But you can get something for him. I would believe that you could get something for him. Like, for instance, if Dallas, I'm not saying for liability on those guys, but they could take a guy like that and have him be a center in the middle for AD. AD would love it because he got to do the rebound and block shots. He'd love it. AD would absolutely love it. But, we got Chambly, we got a bunch of dudes, that can play. What's the kid? Dion Wright can play. Miles McBride can play. Precious. Play, right? Landry Shamet was at least a shooter at some point. Tyler Kolek, the young cat, is nice. Right? They got another center in there, Ariel Huckaporty from overseas. Mikal Bridges, Antoine Watson can play. Who else, man? They got, of course, Brunson, OG, Mitchell Robinson, Carl Anthony, Josh Hart. PJ Tucker wasn't going to play. He's 7,000 years old. Beauchamp, I don't know much about him, but I think he's a rookie, 6'7".
He's not a rookie. He's he's been in the league on 2-3 years now. He's a defensive guy, high energy type of guy.
The kid that we got from France, Dadiet Pacon, shooting guard, is 6'8". 6'8". But that I just listen. I'm done with that. I'm done with that topic. I think we'll move on. And I think like I said, Sam Cassell, maybe Rajon Rondo. You just need a good mind, man. And it's the point guard league, so you're going to get a point guard to coach, which is fine by me. I've got no issues with that at all. At all. So, got no problem. That's the way I see it.
Gotcha. Can you guys hear me? Sorry, I keep going in and out.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
That's all I got, brother.
Gotcha. Ryan, anything else on the NBA?
No, man. I think we hit everything. But like I said, man, like I said before with this Indiana OKC series. Like I said, they're different, but they play the same. It's a weird concept. I know it sounds crazy. They're different, but they play the same. They have a long rotation of guys. When everybody comes in the game, they all produce. But what's happening? You're having Indiana guys are coming in, and sometimes they're even playing better than the starters. Like McConnell. McConnell changed the whole face of that game yesterday, just by his energy, his steals, his deflections, assists. Just he changed the game. And of course, Benedict. He came in at almost at 30 off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Matherin. You know what I mean? So who was a steal in the draft for them? You know what I mean? So they just have good energy guys. Everybody plays their role, and so does OKC. And the thing is, if the games are close, it's going to favor Indiana. If the game at the end is not close, Indiana's going to win the close games. OKC is going to win the 10-point games.
Yeah. So I guess you say OKC has to have it. Well, shoot, they can't. They had it in the bag in the third quarter the other night, lost. So they got to be blowing them slap out the gym. And
that's what was going on in the playoffs when OKC gets a lead on you in these previous series. When they get a lead on you, then there is no coming back because So
the weird thing is, do you think that what's the coach in Dallas?
From who?
The coach, Dallas. I'm sorry, call him Dallas, right? Indiana's coach.
Carlisle. Rick Carlisle.
Do you think? Because this is what I see in the fourth quarter, he has some special sauce that he goes in the game, and then things get real funky. Like
right. Yeah. And I mentioned that before the series, right? Because he won't play his hand until he needs something. He'll hold something in his back pocket until he needs it. Like that in that game 6 in Indiana when they used Nembhard on, we talked about this before, on Nembhard on Brunson and picked him up the whole entire game.
Yeah.
The whole entire game. You know what I'm saying? Like constant pressure. And that wears on you. You know what I'm saying? And and even though Brunson, is thick for his size, he's still a small guy, a small point guard. You know what I'm saying? Height-wise.
6 feet tall. Might be 6 feet.
Yeah, might. You know what I'm saying? And so and he's not athletic. He's getting to his spots, but most of his shots, they're at the mid-range or they're at the basket. It's tough. He has great footwork and he gets there, but it takes a toll on him. And not for nothing, they didn't let Brunson rest on defense. They just always attacked him.
Went at him. They attacked him.
You constantly attack him. Yeah.
They hunted him out. They looked for him.
Right. But like I said, man, this series is a good series. I'm happy. I'm happy. Again, all of us, on the Sports Chasers, man, we love basketball. So we're going to watch basketball. I don't care if it's a small market team or none of the quote unquote superstars who are older now are not in the conference finals or the championship. Look, man, we had Ant, we had Brunson, Cat, the MVP. We have Halliburton that's making all these incredible clutch shots. So you're getting everything the superstars do. You're getting it. You're seeing it. They just don't have the cachet of the name yet. But that's good because at some point, like you said, DA, these old guys are going to be gone. So build them now.
Yeah, we discussed what the league is going to do. I think they'll do right by these new guys. I think they'll be. I think we'll be able to move forward as a league. I don't think it'll be a problem if we let the old guys bow out gracefully and let the young lions come in and chase them down, kind of chase them out the building, so to speak, but respectfully. But, because that's what I like about these kids. I don't think SGA cares about, all that Steph Curry. So
Yeah, the league will always be fine, man. The league is always gonna build the stars. When Dr. J left, when
Yeah,
Kareem left,
that's what I
when
said. So, yeah,
when
you're right.
when Jordan left, the league didn't collapse. You know what I'm saying? When Kobe came and Shaq and guys like that, and now
I
Steph. Yeah, the league is always going to produce their stars.
yeah, I kind of thought that the league was trying to prolong a lot of this over the last few years.
Oh, for sure, for sure. They're
But
trying to milk it.
I can understand why. And then on the same side, I can also say, look, man, Steph Curry won another chip, right? So it wasn't, both things can be true. So, but listen, I don't know if where Kev's at. I think he's having some.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
Okay.
I don't know if y'all guys can hear me.
Okay, now we could.
We
My
can hear
internet
you.
has been very spotty and active.
We're
Yeah.
about to close the show off, man. But I'll let you do it.
Yeah.
So.
I'm gonna have you. If you guys can hear me. Yes.
We
Very
can hear
good
you.
show. I'm sorry, and I apologize. You said you can't hear me.
Yes,
We can.
We can.
Oh.
We can hear you.
Yeah. The whole world can hear you, Kev.
Something. Well, I'll do this. Yeah. Like I said, apologize for the internet thing. Hopefully it'll be fixed by the next time, man. Good show, great show. Thank you for all those that was chiming in the chat. Shout out to Coach Ty, man. I was on his podcast last night, man. Growing up in Brooklyn, man, and we had a good time doing that. Should be released soon, and when it's released, it'll be on his website and on his YouTube page, and we're throwing up on us. So shout out to Coach Ty, man. Thank you, man. Good brother right there. Shout out to all those in the chat. Stanley Cup players, we had to ban you because we sick of you spamming the chat, man. So I gave you timeouts a couple of times, but I guess we here when we getting spammed. So it is what it is, man. Part shots. Well, DA and Ryan have been pretty much carrying everything. I'll give it to Ryan first. What you got for us, brother? How you got?
No, man, just good show as always. Always a pleasure talking with you guys. And just one thing, on a WNBA note, the Minnesota Lynx are no longer undefeated. The Seattle Storm beat them last night, so we only have one undefeated team left, and that's the champion New York Liberty. And kudos to Seattle. They were down. They came back at home and snapped the winning streak for the Minnesota Lynx, who a lot of people think is the best team in the WNBA and favored to win the championship and having the favorite for MVP, Nafisa Collier. So just want to say that. But that's it, brother.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah, that's right. The WNBA is still going on. Shout out to the WNBA. DA, what you got for us, sir, before we dip out of here?
Hey, man. Me and my peeps is all on this steps challenge, man. Your boy D got 9,000 steps in the day. And boy, am I tired. Everybody do something every day to be better. That's all. I don't care what it is. Just do something every day. Love you all. That's all.
Got you, man. What you doing? What you doing to get those 10,000 steps? You gonna go outside?
Yeah, man. I'll go to the track, bro. I get about 7, 8 laps. I got something called Camelback. I put my water in the Camelback. I throw my hip hop on, and I'm good. So that's what it is. You can ask Giz. So yeah, that's what it is. So
yeah,
everybody do something. I don't care. Read a book. I don't care. Let's make it happen. All right.
No doubt. Listen, we missed the rest of the crew. Shout out to Dan. Shout out to Mike Milley. Shout out to the Angry One James and D Dubs. D Dubs was in the comments, man. Shout out to all the Sports Chasers brothers. Hey, make sure you check us out. Like, click, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you also hit the bells for all the notifications. Also, we got our merchandise shop is on our website, sportschaserspodcast.net. The new logo, the one that's behind DA, guess what? It's up and running now. So if you want some of that, you can go to our website, sportschaserspodcast.net, and go grab some of the logo, man. The new merchandise, it's up there, man. So I'm not going to belabor the point because, like I said, I can barely hear the guys and my internet is acting wacky. Listen, on behalf of myself, I'm Kevin Juan, your host and moderator for the DA, for Ryan, and for the rest of the crew. Thank you for all those that was in the chat. Shout out to all those in TikTok. Yo, this is... Somebody's saying something.
Nuh-uh.
But I don't think that was supposed to be. Listen, we're gonna get out of here. Hey, this is the Sports Chasers podcast, man. Y'all be good, y'all be great, be blessed, man. We'll catch you on Monday night. Peace.
That's a wrap for today's episode of the Sports Chasers podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and your favorite podcast platforms, and connect with us on all social media channels for exclusive content and updates. We'd also love for you to join the conversation, share your thoughts, and become part of the Sports Chasers community. And remember to tune in next time for some more real sports talk. Until then, stay frosty.